Afternoon all, hope we're doing well. This is the match day 6 data. We're in the semi-finals, getting towards the end of the competition. There's only 2 match days left. So it's time to start thinking about what we want to get out of the next 2 game weeks, whether you're top of a mini league and you want to cement your place there, you want to play it safe, or you might be chasing and you want to go for some risky plays, some differential plays. We'll start with a quick recap. So I got 50 points. It seemed like a disappointing score, but it was a green arrow. I was 6k, I've gone up to 3k, and I'm only 10 points away from 1k. So the rankings are still quite close together. We've only had 5 game weeks, and you just need to get a few differentials. Just nail your captaincy and you go right up the rankings. I think one reason, looking at the stats for the previous match day, one reason why I had a green arrow that I probably wasn't expecting was out of the top 20 most owned players, 9 of them are in teams that have been eliminated. So looking at the teams on Twitter, I didn't think that the Germany players were that well owned, but when you just look at the stats, they are, and certain Portuguese players. So even just getting 15 players out for this game week, I think you can get a green arrow looking at the overall rankings. There'll be a lot of teams that have played the wild card already and they're not able to field 15 players. So yeah, just getting 15 players out this game week and 11 out the next will give you a green arrow in the overall rankings. So recap, I think most people have got the same 3 forwards: Gakpo, Kane and Mbappe. Kane and Mbappe, very disappointing. There are quite some similarities between the 2 players. Playing for teams that have disappointed so far, both on pens, both haven't played that well. I was thinking, coming into this, I've got the wild card. Will I have both of the players in my team? No, I will. I will definitely have those players in my team. Let's have a look at let's get the data up. Where is it? There it is. Captaincy for this week is tough. I think this week is the hardest week as far as decision making goes. I'm not sure whether to play the wild card or not because I've only got 4 eliminated players. Captaincy, don't know who to go for. I'm probably going to go, I think I'll go Rodri in the first day. The second day, if I've got Gehi in the team, I might go for him. Safer players with higher floors. Eye test wise, you can't really be captaining Kane, really. Sunday is a great shout. Spain more likely to qualify, more likely to get a clean sheet, but Kunde is a ball recovery monster. So captaincy, yeah, tough. No standout options. I'm probably going to go for safer picks, so midfielders or defenders. We go to data. I previously mentioned the forwards. Slim pickings. I think there's only, yeah, looking like that, there's probably 5 players worth considering. Even though Kane and Mbappe haven't done very well so far, just looking at the expected points compared to the other forwards, you just have to have them in the team, really. Both going to play 90 minutes, both going to take the penalty. Take a penalty if it's not. Sorry, I haven't explained that very well. They're both going to play 90 minutes and they're on pens. Both got taken off in extra time, so neither took a pen in the penalty shootout. That's what I was trying to say. But yeah, I think they're both must-owns unless you want to go differential. If you want to go differential, I think you've got to have Memphis in the team. He's only 6% owned, whereas Gakpo, 37% owned. Memphis is on most set pieces. He's on penalties. Yamal for Spain. I'm not a massive fan of having him in the team. I think there's better other Spain players are better than him. Because the way that you need to structure your team, you need at least 3 players from each team to make sure that you have enough going through into the next round, whether you're on a wild card or not. So say if you have 5 England, 4 from Spain, sorry, 5 from France, and I'm not doing very well, am I? Let's start that again. If you have 5 from England against 3 from Netherlands, 4 from Spain against 3 from France. So even if the underdogs, France and Spain, France and Holland, fromage frais, France and Holland qualify, you're going to have 6 players. I don't want to start this video again. Bear with me. Need to improve. So another structure would be going bigger on England. So 5 from England and then 4 from Spain and France. So even if Holland qualify, you're going to have 6 players. So going with that set, you're going to have this outcome. So you're going to have 6 or 9 in the next round. 6 players is fine because you get 5 free transfers. 6 plus 5 gets you 11. I told you I was good with the numbers. That's assuming none of your players get suspended or injured. To be suspended in the final, you need to be sent off. I could speculate there's likely to be more injuries just because of the number of games that have been played. Not just the number of games, the number of minutes as well. So England have gone back-to-back extra time. So someone like Declan Rice has played 3 times 90 in the group stage and then 2 times 120 in the knockouts. So you could say he might be a bit tired. His risk of an injury has been increased. As for suspensions, we don't need to worry about yellow cards as from the point of view of being suspended from the final. But something that has sort of been underappreciated on Twitter, I see people saying, oh, you can get booked in 2 games. So you can play 5 games, get booked twice, and then miss a semi-final. Well, it's not like they're handing yellow cards out at random. It's not like they've got a random number generator. Oh, you've got a yellow card. You get a yellow card for kicking someone or being a bit of a dickhead. And because you can't get booked, you can't get suspended in the final for being booked, there's an incentive to get a yellow card. So all yellow cards now have been reset. So all these players, you can take a yellow card and you're not going to miss the final. So it should be like, yeah, you might as well just take a yellow card, give someone a good kick. From the fantasy point of view, your defenders, midfielders will be more likely to get a yellow card. That was certainly true in the Spain-Germany game. There's a lot of yellow cards being handed out in that game. I could speculate there's going to be more yellow cards in the Spain-France game. Right, let's go back to forwards. The 3 forwards I'm going to have, same as the the popular 3. Kane, Mbappe, Gakpo. If you want to go differential, I'd have Yamal or Memphis. I wouldn't recommend Morata. He's going to get taken off after about 60, 70 minutes. And you can't really go with another French forward. It's not certain whether Griezmann's going to start or Dembele, Buani. They're not going to get the minutes to consider any of them. Would not bother with them. Let's have a look at the midfielders. For most of the competition, Rodri is essential. He's got to be in your team, really. Jude, I still like him. Hasn't played that well, but he's going to play a lot of minutes. He's a bit of a triple threat. He's got a chance of goals, assists, and recoveries. Obviously a great player. Someone that I'm really keen to bring in. I haven't underlined that very well. Someone I'm very, very keen to bring in, Declan Rice. Mentioned him previously. He's going to play every minute. He's going to get plenty of recoveries. Odd chance of a goal or assist for him. I think the way that these 2 fixtures project is going to be low scoring games. So the players who get recoveries, you want to focus on them rather than the players who are more likely to goal and assist and not get a recovery. So someone like Dani Olmo, I think he's a good player. Slight minutes concern. But the reason that he doesn't project very highly is he doesn't get recoveries. Got a good chance of a goal or assist. But if you compare his numbers to Fabian Ruiz, he's more likely to get a goal, more likely to assist. But Fabian Ruiz has got that more consistent stream of ball recoveries. So yeah, you do want to sort of focus on the players who are going to get your ball recoveries. I've got Rodri, gonna keep him. Got Jude, keeping him. Keeping Fabian Ruiz. I definitely want Declan Rice in my team, and then my fifth midfielder. Bit of a decision. Simmons. Quite like him. Foden and Saka. I'm not too. England haven't played very well. I don't think England are going to play well in this tournament. People say, I've said this before, people say Southgate's a lucky manager. He's not lucky. He's just got world-class players at his disposal. England can play rubbish and Jude can score an overhead kick. England can play rubbish and then Saka can score a great goal from the edge of the box. So fifth midfielder is going to be Simmons, Foden, Saka or Dani Olmo. I have not made my mind up for that. One player I will mention briefly is Kante. He's quite a fairly popular pick. I say fairly, looking at that, 15% ownership. People might be thinking, get Kante in your team, he's going to get recoveries. He will. The problem with Kante is he is in competition with other players for those recoveries. So France have got a solid back four. And then the midfield three are likely to be Kante, Tchouaméni, pronounce many players' names, certainly not him. And then it's either going to be Rabiot or Camavinga in. So three sort of midfield destroyers in the midfield. So it's not like Kante is going to hoover up all the ball recoveries. Unlike England, Declan Rice is going to get a lot more recoveries than Kobe Mainoo. Why I like him. Why I like Rice and not as keen on Kante. Have a look at the defenders, and the guy who is at top of the list, Hyundai. Yep, like him, he gets plenty of recoveries. The best French defender, definitely. Yeah, I'm assuming he's going to come straight back in the team. I think he will, and he gets plenty of recoveries. Van Dijk, Laporte, yep, good picks. If I was on a wild card, I'd definitely have those three. And then the other one might be Cucurella or Walker. I don't really, not too keen on another French defender other than Koundé. So those are the considerations. I think, yeah, defenders you want to bring in are the ball recovery magnets, which you can see here, looking at the recoveries. That's why if we're playing a game like FPL where you don't get points for recoveries, you would prefer a defender like Hernandez or Dumfries, more of a goal threat. But instead, especially because the games are going to be very tight, you're going to see there's very likely going to be extra time in one or both of the games. So as a result, you want to go for ball recovery magnets. Finally, we'll have a look at the goalkeepers. All comes up. You're obviously going to know there's not going to be much difference between the four goalkeepers. 3.3 to 3.5. Basically, just get rotating goalkeepers. I think most Pickford is going to be popular, obviously. I've got him, and then my choice is whether to have Mike or Simon. Simon or Mike. And spoke about captains, which is a total lottery. Go forward to defensive players. Get my team back up. So I mentioned previously my decisions. I've got the wild card. I haven't activated it yet. I'm not too sure whether I am going to activate it because I've got 4 free transfers and I've got 4 eliminated players. So I'm going to bring up my 2 teams. So this team on the left is the team that I will likely make if I just use my free transfers, and then the team on the right is the team that I'm going to make if I use my wild card. You can see between the 2 teams, there's a lot of difference. Both of them have the same 3 forwards. They've got the same 3 in the midfield. And in defence, we've got 3. The same 3 players. We've both got Pickford. So the only changes are, if I was using free transfers, I'd still have Kyle Walker instead of Gehi. If I was wildcard, and I'd bring in Laporte and not have De Vrij. And if I was wildcard, and I'd have Mike, the Frenchman called Mike. He's probably called Michel, isn't he? Something like that. Mike instead of Unai Simon. I'm not... Yeah, this is like a 50-50 decision. What's the pros and cons over the tactics? So if I was just to have... Obviously, the team on the right, the wildcard team, is better. The benefit of just using my free transfers is if somebody gets injured or suspended, I've got a wild card for the final. And I can have whatever team I want for the final. I can go very heavy on one team over another. Obviously, you just need 11 playing players in the final. So you can have a maximum of 8 from a team. So you say Spain are playing Netherlands, you want to have 8 Spanish players and then just have 3 from the Netherlands. I haven't got a decision what I'm going to do, whether I'm going to just use free transfers or just wildcard. But if I was wildcard, and this is the team over here that I recommend. One thought is, if I was to use free transfers, I'm not wedded to having Simmons in the team. I probably would prefer to have a player from the earlier game. Because if you have more players in the earlier game, you've got more options. You get rid of the 3 lower scoring outfield players. So that's why I probably would have Olmo instead of Simmons on there. Yeah, that's something to consider. So basically, as long as you have at least 3 players from each team, you're all right. Rotating goalkeepers, and a preference would be have slightly more players from the first game as to the second. So in the wildcard team on the right here, I've got double French defense and also double. This is going to look like. Sorry. I've got double Spain. So if I do get a wild card, if I do get a clean sheet in one of those games, I can keep those 2 players and then bring in the England and Dutch defenders and goalkeepers from the game on the next day. Right, I think I've covered all my options. I wish you good luck. And if you've got any questions, any feedback, I love the feedback. I love seeing people's mini leagues where they're top of the mini league by 10, 20 plus points. I love seeing that. So if you do want to send me that, I would appreciate it greatly. Thank you very much. Any questions, let me know.